What's up, precious internet people? It's me, Anemone, and in today's video, I want to talk about how much are my addictions holding me back from my success. Before I continue, I just want to say I am not an expert, professional, or anything of that sort, just an addict. With that being said, any advice I may give or anything I may not condone isn't coming from a place of authority, but personal experience. So let us begin. So let me give you a little backstory. I first started smoking the Zaza when I was 14, the summer of 7th grade going on the 8th. But before then, I actually had 2 tiny puffs of a cigarette in the 4th grade because my crush at the time was smoking cigarettes with her friend. And I took, literally 2 small puffs at this bando. And then I immediately left right after. Remember we were just standing in a circle, it was just us two, took the 2 puffs, just instantly just left. No mentions of goodbye or anything. But that was peer pressure, so I don't really count that one, but it did happen. I then picked up vaping and nicotine around 18. And those have been my 2 main vices and struggles with addiction since then. And, only stopping to smoke weed, once required by law or, just completely down bad and couldn't make it happen. But I'm 26 now. And I remember when I was 22, 23, 24, I remember having this thought always pop up in my head. And that thought was, if I stopped smoking weed and vaping, I'd literally blow up. Now, I don't think the act of stopping alone would be the sole reason for my success. But I did believe that stopping would begin putting me on that path to eventual success. And when I say success or blow up, I don't mean like Yeet kind of success or blow up where I'm the next rap guy or whatever, but I'm making a living doing what I love kind of success. And I'm defining and redefining that idea of success to this day. I told myself it was part of the artist, but it became the schedule. When I first started making music, weed, it felt like it belonged to the lifestyle. I'm a creative. I'm in my room. I'm making music. I'm up late. Of course I smoke. That's what artists do, right? And honestly, at the beginning, it felt like it opened up something. Music hit different. Ideas felt bigger. The world felt slower in a way that made sense when you're young and trying to find your sound. So I attached weed to my identity. I wasn't just a rapper or producer. I was the guy who smoked and made music. And that felt cool. That felt like who I was supposed to be. But somewhere along the way, it stopped being something I did and became something I needed. It became the schedule. Wake up, eventually smoke, tell yourself you'll work after, maybe eat, smoke again, tell yourself you're now in the zone, maybe open a laptop, maybe don't, smoke again before bed, call it a creative day because you thought about working. I didn't lose my talent. I still believed I could make good music. I still believe I had something to say, but what I lost was consistency, and that's the part nobody romanticizes. Everybody talks about the stoner artist aesthetic. Nobody talks about the version of you that keeps saying tomorrow for 3 years. Creative success, real professional success, isn't just about being talented. It's about showing up, it's about finishing, it's about doing it when you don't feel inspired. It's about building something over time when nobody cares yet. And when the weed runs your schedule, you're not running your career. You're negotiating with the substance all day. Smoke first, then work. You can't make music sober. That's not your vibe. You'll be more creative after. I told myself all of that. Maybe sometimes it was true, but most of the time it was just building a life around a habit, calling it art. Weed made me feel productive when I was really just delayed. This is the part that's hard to admit because weed makes you feel like you're doing something even when you're not. You're in the session, beat is on loop, you're vibing, you're nodding, you're feeling it, and in your head that counts as work. But then hours go by and the verse still isn't done, the video still isn't posted, the email still isn't sent, the idea you had at 2 p.m. is gone by 8 p.m. because you never captured it clearly. And instead of facing that, you call it process. I was always about to finish, about to record, about to post, about to take the brand seriously, about to stop hiding. Addiction keeps you in almost working forever. That's what weed did for me. It made me almost feel good enough. I'd sit in the studio or my room, wherever, and loop the same 8 bars, tell myself I was searching for the perfect delivery. Really, I was just too foggy to make a decision and move on. I'd watch other people my age blow up, or at least look like they were blowing up, and I'd tell myself they just got lucky, or they were in a better city, or the algorithm loves them. Maybe some of that is real, but I wasn't asking the harder question. How many days did I lose because I was too faded to finish the thing that could have moved me forward? Weed didn't make me lazy in the obvious way. day. I still moved, I still posted sometimes, I still made music. It made me delayed on courage, delayed on clarity, delayed on the boring stuff that actually builds careers, the uploads, the follow through, the showing up when the work isn't sexy. And the worst part, you feel productive while it's happening. So you don't even clock the damage until you look up and you're 26 wondering why you're still figuring out instead of actually breaking through. Nicotine is the quiet one. It eats your time in small bites all day. I feel like weed gets all the bad rap, but nicotine doesn't even hardly gets as much. Nobody posts a cinematic video about hitting a vape between takes. Nobody talks about going through pods, packs, whatever, a week. It's not dramatic, it's just constant. And that's exactly why it's dangerous for me. Because nicotine doesn't feel like a session. It feels like a reflex. Stuck on a line, hit. Anxious about posting, hit. Bored for 30 seconds, hit. Uncomfortable feeling of being behind at 26, hit all day. Little bites, little resets, little, okay, I feel normal again moments. Nicotine didn't inspire me. It helped me tolerate being stuck without breaking through. That's why I realized weed delayed my sessions. Nicotine delayed my life. Every time I felt discomfort of growth, the awkwardness of posting something vulnerable, the fear that nobody's watching, the embarrassment of trying again, I had something right in my pocket to take the edge off. And growth lives on the edge. I think about how many times I spent just maintaining nicotine throughout the day. The walks outside, the trips to the store, the money, the low-level anxiety when you don't have it. None of that shows up in the highlight reels, but it adds up. And creatively, it keeps you in this loop where you never have to sit with the feeling long enough to actually change something. You don't have to finish the verse. You'll hit the vape and reset. You don't have to post a video. You'll hit the vape and reset. You don't have to look at why you're still in the same place. You'll hit the vape and reset. It's quieter than weed, easier to hide, easier to justify. But if I'm being honest, it might be the addiction that's stolen more momentum from me than anything. The real cost isn't substance, it's who I can't be creatively. So let me bring it back to the title. How much are my addictions holding me back from creative success? I used to think success was about talent, better beats, better bars, better hooks, better visuals, one song that changes everything. And yeah, the work matters, but the older I get, the more I realize creative success is also about who you can be while you're building. Can you be present? Can you be consistent? Can you be brave enough to post the real stuff, not just the aesthetics? Can you finish when it's mid? Can you hear this isn't just it yet without needing to escape the feeling? Can you show up on days when nothing is happening? The real cost of addiction isn't always dramatic. It's who I can't be when I'm seriously caught in weed and nicotine. I'm not fully there. Not for the work, not for the audience, not even for myself. And people feel that. Even if they can't explain it, they feel when someone's present. They feel when someone's hiding behind something. I want to build a real creative career, not just drop songs into the void, not just look like an online artist. I want people to connect with me, because that's what's been working when I post. The honest stuff, the figuring out stuff, the human stuff. But it's hard to be that honest when you're always a little bit numbed out. It's hard to be disciplined when your day is built around when you get to use next. It's hard to feel proud of your progress when you know in the back of the mind you might have moved faster if you weren't fighting this every single morning before the real fight even started. How much of my creative success is being held back by the thing I use so I don't have to feel where I actually am at 26? That's the question I can't unask now. And I'm not filming this because I quit and I want a victory lap. I'm not filming this to act like I'm sober now and you should applaud me. I'm filming this because I'm tired of building a brand about honesty while hiding the thing that might be slowing me down the most. I'm still cutting back, having clean stretches, not ready to say I quit. What I know is when I've had clearer days, even few in a row, I feel the difference. I finish faster. I'm more willing to post the uncomfortable video instead of hiding in the studio. I'm more embarrassed by my mid-work, which sounds bad, but it makes me fix it instead of floating on it. I remember why I started. I don't think everyone who smokes is doomed. I don't think nicotine means you can't win. This isn't me judging anybody. This is me just being real about my addictions. Weed and nicotine and how I think they've been holding me back from my creative success. I say I want. If you're watching this and you're stuck, not untalented, not lazy, just stuck, maybe ask yourself the same thing. Not with shame, just with honesty. How much of you is building and how much of you is just coping?